Hello everybody and welcome back to another PA9 video. Today it is post-editing PA9, back at it again. Basically where we left off is we were working on getting our villager trading hall set up, getting some of the initial villagers in there, and this trading hall is the one that's we're gonna be using for quartz, so that we can get blocks of quartz to build with M-City. So without further ado, let's get into the video, okay? Alright, after a little more time since that first video clip, here we are. So we got a bunch of villagers, so far looking so good, and we have all of them diamond badges. So here's what the quartz obtaining process is gonna look like. So we go in here, use our little helper friend to get 12 blocks of quartz per villager, and then these blocks of quartz can obviously be crafted into all the different types of quartz blocks. I don't know how long it takes a villager to refresh, but we have a nice little setup going on here. Now, one thing we are going to have to think about is we're spending a lot of emeralds. We're spending as many emeralds as we have quartz blocks. So I'm considering probably putting some farmer villagers here and maybe making a pumpkin and melon farm somewhere nearby so that we can have an income of emeralds. I do have a backlog of about a double chest worth of emerald blocks, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, so we might need to get some farmer villagers so that we have some income in emeralds while we're spending. I also moved the zombie. I moved the zombie over to this side because I think it helps with a little bit of workbench linking and trade linking. So our best friend Raphael is over here, and then we have some villagers going up here. Here's one that just grew up going in there. And then we have extra beds up here so that our we can have more capacity of kids. Okay, so we have finished our first layer of the new trading hall. So here's kind of a look at what it's been going on. I've had a lot of trouble with the villagers unlinking from their workstation right in front of them. And I think the reason that we finally found is because sometimes I've been sleeping in the bed that all these villagers are linked to, and when you sleep in the bed, I guess that interrupts their linking with their workstation. So now we've got everything sorted, and as we can see, our quartz block supplies are starting to increase, which is looking very good. We're almost at a double chest worth, and for these villagers, we have 40 quartz villagers in here, and I think about 54 emerald blocks. We'll do a full round of trades for 7.5 stacks of blocks of quartz, so that's pretty cool. But we are going to be spending emeralds at a pretty hefty rate, so I think the second part and the last part of this trading hall is a way to have income. So right now we're spending, but we're not making. So we're going to make a second floor, and the second floor is going to be for farmer villagers. Now, the thing with farmer villagers, as we know, is that they sell pumpkins and melons, which are very easy to farm automatically. And since with our new setup, we can get the cheapest trades, where it'll be one pumpkin selling for 1 emerald, and then 1 melon selling for 1 emerald as well. We'll start with a row of stone bricks, and then do two layers of glass, and then more stone bricks for the roof and everything. Little update, it's been about 2 hours of working on the farmer villagers, so here's kind of the setup that we got going on so far. So as you can see, we're starting to get some farmer villagers in here. Some of them I still have to trade with to unlock the pumpkin and melon trades, but basically the reason I want these guys is for these 1-for-1 trades, which are very easy to do with an automatic farm that we can have running in the background. So this will be our income of emeralds. Alright, so to demonstrate how this works, basically we'll take a couple pumpkins and melons that I had previously saved up at the other villager setup, and then we just kind of go through, use our little helper to trade, and we'll get plenty and plenty of emeralds. And then we can take these emeralds and buy quartz blocks, or buy really whatever we want. And this is our final zombie right here to complete the second layer of the trading hall. So we're just gonna poke him with an arrow and then cure him, and I think this should be this entire layer done. So once these guys cure up and we get them locked in, I'll start trading with these guys. But what we need to do now is make a tiny little pumpkin and melon farm, and then we will officially have, I think, everything we need in order to start accumulating the blocks that we're going to use for M-City. Alright, so now similar to what we did in Project Nova with that melon and pumpkin farm, we're going to be building another one of those kind of 18 by 18 fully automatic farms that is going to be in the vicinity of where we're going to be spending a lot of time so that it's always running in the background. So I'm just going to construct one of those things over here. It should be relatively simple since we already have most of the resources, so we just need to clear out a little room over here. And I think I'm going to build that out of quartz too, because we can afford it. So this will be our first quartz part. Progress update on how we're doing here. I'm kind of using this build to be my first template for the block palette of M-City. So we've been building out of quartz, and then the green frog lights a little bit. But right now we're putting in the observers to detect when the pumpkin and melon stems grow something. So here's what we're looking like so far. So we're getting our observers in, and then this is kind of the setup that we got going on here. So this is a pretty traditional farm, so I haven't shown too much of the building just because it's, you know, relatively simple. But as you can see, we got our minecart collection system where we're going to put a minecart hopper and then it'll travel around every once in a while to pick up some blocks. Over here, we have a simple item sorter that filters out the pumpkins first. Then it pumps the melon slices into a crafter setup to craft them into blocks. And then over out the side here, we have a little hopper clock to every so often power and unpower this, I guess, unloading rail so that it can unload the items into the storage system before it goes out again to try and pick up some more. Alright, so just to finish up the pumpkin and melon farm, we're putting in a little bit of redstone dust to activate the pistons when the observer detects an update here. Relatively simple. Just get our little checkerboard pattern and there we go. So this farm should be now fully functional, I believe. We have all of our lighting capacities dealt with. We have our minecart with hopper that should be running around, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and... Okay. Why is that happening? I have no idea. I think it has a little too much speed coming in here. Did not think about that. We're going to be starting the brand new project of M-City, trying to outline where we're going to build and prepping the land for the build. I have pretty big ambitions here, but there's still a lot of details I need to iron out, so we will be getting started on those. We are finally here again after, I think, like 9 months since the last time we did one of these, but now we're going to be starting a brand new build project in the solo world here. So for those of you who don't know already, we're going to be starting our new build project, which is going to be that of M-City. So a quick description on what M-City is. It's basically going to be a futuristic, well, no. It's going to be kind of like a New York City style city. It's going to be very modern, very wealthy, and mainly our block palettes are going to be kind of surrounding like quartz and green. So I think like white and green are going to be my main colors here. But yeah, it's going to be like a large scale city. I think I might do different kinds of buildings as far as, right, you're going to have your skyscrapers. We might include maybe like a stadium, a sports arena, and maybe a national park, if you will. But basically, this city is going to be surrounded on villagers, emeralds, and wealth. And it's going to have farms to create resources to then sell to villagers to then get emeralds. So it's a whole bunch of, you know, rich team. And I think using quartz for a large-scale build project is going to be pretty interesting. There is quite some variations of the quartz that you can get. And I've never built with quartz, so this is going to be our first big quartz dealings. In the spirit of M-City, M standing for Emerald, I think I'm going to finally change my armor trim from diamond armor trim to emerald, just to make myself look suited for the job. To get us in the festive spirit, how many do we need? I got, so we need 4, so we need to go like this. That's 2, 3, 4, and then I need 5, 1 for spare. And then this is actually kind of a monumental moment here, because I've been rocking this diamond material trim literally forever. So here we go. Emeralds, boots, make it green. Pants, make it green. Chest plate, make it green. Helmet, make it green. Oh My goodness, I am... I'm tripped out! Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I can get used to this. I can get used to it. Alright, so now we're going to be starting the very long process of land preparation. So I think pretty much we're just going to take up this entire birch forest. So first thing, we got to make sure to get rid of everything, and then we'll see the pure land real estate that we're working with. Now currently we're on day 3,548, which for those of you who don't know, that is PC only. So that would be Burj Khalifa, Project Nova. Just those two projects is how many days that is, since the day count unfortunately reset when you move your world from PlayStation to PC through a realm. So that's how many days it was for those two projects. Now, given that when I finish M City, you know, maybe I can check on this a little bit later, but I'm gonna estimate I'll be on day, let me think. I'm gonna estimate I will be on day 5250. That's pretty far. But judging on the past, no, I'm not gonna go 5250. I'm gonna go 5100. 5100. So 5100 days. Wait a minute, no. Yeah, 5100 days is my official locked in prediction. The day count when we finish M City. So shout out me in it'll probably be 2025 by the time I finish that. Oh my god, this is gonna take. Oh my goodness. This is what our landscape is looking like now that we've cleared a little bit of it out. So we can kind of see what the landscape is looking like here. It's looking very, very nice to work with just as is. This body of water we're probably going to work on. I'm thinking about lowering different parts of the lake so it has a little more depth to it rather than just like a 1 block tall pool going around here. And I think that this center island, if we further expand the water on this side, we can probably put like a nice statue of some sort there, which I think could be cool. Now, I don't really plan on making this perfectly flat landscape. I do think a little bit of variation will be a good idea. So we'll see how that goes. But over on the farming section, I'm adding another layer to the pumpkin and melon farm. And I also changed the composition of melon to pumpkin ratio on the first layer just to try and better match the outputs so that we're producing equal amounts. So as you can see, we're doing a little bit better here. We got 3 stacks and 2, 3 stacks and 24. So basically I changed the ratios from 25% pumpkin, 75% melon to 32.5% pumpkin and 67.5% melon. So that's probably going to be the ratio that I think is going to work pretty well for us. And basically what that looks like, right, is if we have this big 18 by 18 thing, we split it into 4 9 by 9 chunks. So we'll have a 9 by 9 chunk of pumpkin, just like so. And then we'll also have a half of another 9 by 9 chunk of pumpkin, and then the rest will be melons to get our distribution tables right, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know how many levels I need to add, but I want to try and get this pumpkin melon farm producing a little bit faster so that I'm spending as many pumpkins and melons as I'm making, which might be easier said than done. All right, update time. Here's what we got going on. It's been a few weeks since the last video clip. I think in the last clip I was expanding the pumpkin and melon farm. So I've been running it for a little bit, and to be honest with you, you know, as expected on Bedrock, it does break a lot because when you fly away in the simulation distance, this, that, and the other thing, it is breaking a lot. But overall, from the time where I am nearby, it is doing relatively okay. As we can see, the minecart is actually broken. So here's a prime example of it breaking all the time. But anyways, that's besides the point. So we've been basically just kind of farming some more clearing, and this is the area that we have now. So I think this is pretty much going to be the entire area of where we're going for. Relatively more or less, we might go a little more westward. Yeah, westward. But now what we're going to do is, I think, to help me brainstorm on kind of what I want M City to have, I'm gonna make a little wall, right? And I'm gonna put signs on it with ideas that I want to incorporate in the city, right? A couple things that I've been tossing around. Obviously, the idea of a mini subway station could be cool, but I already got the subway, so I don't know. I could do a stadium. Stadium, you know, we can have a stadium, and you know, obviously, we want to have some national parks. I don't know if that's what it's called, but you know how like they got parks in cities? I might want to do some of them too. To get in our little magic sign here, we're gonna make a 3x6 should be fine. Okay, so since the last clip, I made a super smelter over here. I just took the one from Project Nova, so I didn't have to get a new set of resources. And a big thing that I've been wanting to try is kind of for the centerpiece of this village. I'm thinking about doing a Taipei 101 build. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just show it to the camera because I was just on this. Taipei 101 is a skyscraper in Taiwan. Since I am half Taiwanese, I've been there many times throughout my life. So this is kind of what it looks like. It's like a, you know, it's a building, right? It's got a bunch of notches, and then for New Year's they do fireworks off of it. So it's very cool. Obviously, mine's not gonna be blue. Mine's gonna be like white and green somehow. But it's a very cool building. Obviously, Taipei 101, it's got 101 floors or something like that. It's a pretty simple design. I'm just gonna have to figure out how I can actually do it in Minecraft. But I think I'm gonna just play around with some stone outlining. So obviously we know we want Taipei 101, so we'll have to do that, and then we'll have to. Okay, so let me just put some. Oh, we'll put some things here. Oh. All right. We need roads. Gotta have the roads. What else? We have the statue in the pond. Statue. We gotta deepen. Okay, bro. I can't. We gotta deepen the pond. Deepen the pond. Maybe a sports arena. Gotta have some restaurant. Don't know if that's how you spell that, but okay. A little progress update on where we're at. So right now we are working on some of the initial sketching for the Taipei 101 build. I'll probably, hopefully, put an image on screen of what the building looks like. But basically, for the bottom section, it kind of starts with for the bottom section, if you look at it, the base of the bottom section is kind of a larger square, and then it kind of thins to a smaller square, kind of giving a slant. So that's kind of what I'm trying to experiment with right here. Right now we have a square that's about 50 by 50, and then I don't exactly remember the height of these, but I was just kind of guesstimating. And then on each of the corners I'm trying to do a little stencil on what it would look like, kind of expanding outwards and down at some, you know, constant rate. So we go kind of like this. We're just going right down 5 and then out diagonally 1, and we're kind of making a little slant here. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So let me go ahead and give a little bit better of a look here. So we're trying to design the bottom segment. I got one diagonal in, and I think, you know, obviously I've seen this building many times in real life, and I think I might be able to imagine it with this here. But obviously we'll do more stencil work before we put in lots of quartz and stuff, before we like fully commit. So, you know, it's a sculpting process for sure. It's a sculpting process, and I'm also trying to figure out how big most of these buildings should be, right? Because I've never built a city before. I mean, you know, the Burj Khalifa was one building. You know, I had a village, but never really a city before. So I don't know how large everything needs to be to fit. Hello again from Post Editing PA9. I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching until the end of the video. Make sure you guys leave any comments or critiques down in the comments section below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. And we'll see you guys again right here next time for some more M City, okay? Bye-bye.